Hey guys, so in today's video I picked up this 8 horsepower Mercury 2-stroke. This is probably like an early 90s motor. I actually got this motor for free actually. The guy listed it for $50 and I went and picked it up, and he eventually just gave me the motor, so shout out to that guy. It's actually a pretty clean motor. He said he hasn't run it in 3 years, so he said the water pump hasn't been changed in 3 years, so we're definitely gonna do all that stuff. But it's actually a pretty clean motor. I do have a new cowling for this motor, and as you guys can see, the motor is very similar to the 99s and 15s that I work on. These motors are essentially identical, slight differences, but for the most part pretty identical to the other motors that I work on. First thing we're going to do with this motor is do a spark and compression test as usual, and then we'll go from there, make sure the engine is healthy, and after that we'll go through the process of rebuilding this motor. If you guys have been enjoying my videos, please smash the like button down below, as it does help me a lot. And please subscribe so you guys don't miss any content in the future. But let's jump right into the video and let's see what the spark and compression is on this powerhead. After doing the compression test, the compression on the top cylinder was about 100 pounds, and on the bottom cylinder is about 95 pounds. So it's a little bit on the lower end, but hopefully the compression will come up once I run the engine. But what we're going to do now is hook up the spark tester and see if we have good spark on the powerhead. The spark tester is all hooked up. All we want to see is a good spark between the top 2 prongs. So let's see if this powerhead has good spark. But the engine has good spark. So what we're going to do now is pop off the carb, make sure that's all clean, and then we're going to do a water pump impeller. So let's pop off the carb and let's see what the carb looks like inside. Okay guys, so now we're going to pop off this carburetor. I have made in the other videos of how to remove these carbs. They're the same as the 99, the 15s, even the 20 and the 25s of these vintage years of Mercury's. All the carbs are pretty much the same. So I'm just going to rush through it, but we'll remove this carb. I just want to show you guys, as you guys can see, it's pretty dirty in there. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but there's a lot of gunk and specks there. So this carb definitely needs to be a good cleaning, and I got a whole kit to rebuild it, but it's exactly the same, guys, as the 99 to 15s. It's just the carburetors, jets and stuff are smaller. Let's pop this carburetor off, let's get up on the bench, and let's do a carb rebuild on this. So we got the carb on the bench now, so let's do a full carb rebuild on this, and I'll come back to you guys when the carb's all done. Okay guys, so we got the carburetor completely disassembled and taken apart. And as you can see, there's a lot of old gas in here. Not a lot of dirt or anything, just a lot of old gas. So all we're gonna do is set this in the ultrasonic cleaner, and once it comes out, it'll look brand new. And then we'll rebuild the carburetor with a whole new kit. So let's stick them in the tank and let's see what they look like when they come out. Okay guys, so just carb came out. It looks really nice. All the old gas and stuff is out of it. I blew out all the jets with air. And then the bowl looks really clean as well. So let's get this carb rebuilt with the new carb kit, and let's get it reinstalled on the engine. Okay guys, so the carb is all back together. So now what we're going to do is drop the lower unit and do a water pump change. So let's drop it and let's see what that looks like. Get it up on the stand now, and let's open the housing and replace the water pump. Here's the difference between the old one and then the new one. You see, these fans are starting to wear out. and they're pretty soft. So it was definitely ready for a water pump change. So let's get this all back together, clean up everything, make it look brand new, and then we'll reinstall the whole kit together. So now that the water pump is all done, what we're going to do is check that the motor does still shift. So we're going to go into all the gears and make sure that the prop shaft locks into gear. So let's see what happens. So right now we're in neutral. So if you spin the prop, you're in neutral. Let's shift it into forward. Here, click in. You grab it, it's locked in. Let's shift it back to neutral. Spin the prop. At the same time spinning it, I should be able to shift it into forward or into reverse. You feel lock in, and it is locked in reverse. So now the engine does shift, what we're going to do now is just some general maintenance, clean the fuel filter, do some gear lube, and change out the spark plugs. After that, we'll throw it in the tank and fire it up and see if the motor runs good. So let's get into the general maintenance done, and after that, we'll run the engine. These mounting studs are a little tight to turn in, so what I'm going to do is spray a little bit of WD-40 and take a wire brush, clean it off, and make these a lot better because there's a lot of dirt and grime in there. So let's see how those turn out. And now they're all sparkly clean and they spin in like nothing for both of them. All you gotta do is spray a little WD-40 and a little wire brush, and these will be brand new. Okay guys, so now that we've got all the general maintenance items done, what we gotta do now is stick the engine in the tank and run it. So got it in the tank, got it all primed up. We're gonna fire it up and see what it does. So the motor wasn't running the best, guys, and I noticed is when I look under the carb, got a decent amount of fuel leakage all running down and from under here. There's a decent amount of fuel down here. Yeah, I shake it, you guys can see it. Decent amount of fuel there. I think it's probably this crappy yellow line, but I just wanted to see the motor run, so probably got to replace all these yellow lines with actual fuel line, and hopefully that makes the leaking stop. Sometimes it could be the carb. Yeah, you know, we did just take apart. Something could still be wrong in the carb. But start with easy stuff first. Let's replace all these hoses and stuff like that, and get that all fixed up and sorted out. And if we have to take the carb off, maybe I messed up, maybe we'll have to do that. But let's first replace those fuel lines, and then we'll get a better reading on how this motor runs. Okay guys, so I made a very rookie mistake. I found out why the carb is leaking so much. So you flip it over, you look at the bowl. I don't know if the camera can pick it up that good. To the gasket, I don't know if you can see it right here where my finger's pointing. They are not lined up at all. So that's why the bowl's leaking so much, and why I couldn't figure it out. So I'm going to adjust this bowl, put it in correctly, and replace these hoses anyways because I already have it off again, and throw it back on, and I'm sure the engine will run fine. So let's get this all fixed, and let's get it reinstalled and throw it back in the tank and run it. Okay guys, so I got all new fuel lines hooked up, got them all zip tied, and I fixed the bowl. So let's reinstall it on the engine and let's see if it leaks anymore. So I got the car back onto the engine and I primed up the system and there's no more leaks. So that was the issue. So that's a good example, guys, to always check over your work, because sometimes it's something that you did that is causing the issue. In that instance, it was me putting the bowl incorrectly in. So what we're going to do now is fire it up and do some adjustments if need be. So let's see what it's going to do. So I have the idle set to 1.5 turns from the seated position, which is a good starting point. The motor sounds pretty good. If this was like a 9.9 or a 15, probably I'd probably have to do a little bit more adjustments, but 1.5 turns for this engine seems like it's a pretty good spot. But we'll just let it run. I'll probably just do some slight adjustments if need be, and then we'll go from there. It is in gear right now, so it does go into the gears pretty nicely. There's neutral. There's reverse. So the motor sounds really good. I have it set between about 1.5, 1.25 turns, right between those two. It sounds really good right here, and it's in gear right now. Hasn't stalled or anything. So I'm gonna let it run for about 15 minutes. If it doesn't stall or anything, then the motor's good. After that, we'll take it to the lake and make sure it runs good in the lake. We'll do a lake test. And after that, we'll detail it, and that'll be the end of the video. So let's see how it runs, and I'll come back to you in about 15 minutes. Okay, guys, so the motor's been running really good for over 15 minutes. So I'm just gonna kill the engine right now, make sure all the kill switches work. So the side kill switch works. Fires right back up. We'll do the manual kill switch. That worked as well. Make sure it fires back up. It does. So what we're gonna do now, guys, is take it over to the lake and do a lake test on it. But I do have a replacement cowling for this one. So I'm gonna be throwing this cowling on, which is in a little bit better condition. A little dirty still, but when I do a detail, I'll worry about that then. But this one looks a lot better compared to this one, which is the original one off this engine, which this one's pretty faded. At least that other one has some color. So let's see you guys at the lake, and let's do a lake test on this motor, and let's see how it performs. Okay guys, so we got the 8 horsepower on the boat, and now we're at the lake. It's a pretty calm day today, so let's see what this motor can do. And let's get out of the no-wake zone, and let's see what this thing can do on open throttle. Just to show you guys then too, the motor fires right up. Come our fires right up. Let's get out of the no wake zone and let's see what this motor can do on the top end speed. Okay guys, so we're out of the no wake zone, so let's see what this motor can do on the top end speed. It's gonna be my first time testing it, so let's see what it can do. Come back down to idle, the engine's to install. Just hear a bunch of air pops, so I'm probably gonna have to adjust the carb just a little bit. What I'm gonna do is just adjust the idle screw just a tiniest bit and see if the air popping goes away. But so far the motor sounds pretty good. Let's just keep running it and let's see what it can do, and let's just keep adjusting a little bit until we get to the perfect mark. Okay guys, so I've been out here for a couple hours and this motor runs terrific. I'm going to show you guys that all the kill switches do work. So the first one kills the motor. Fires back up on the first pull, which is what you want to see when they're warmed up. Now the second kill switch also works. Again, should fire right back up and it goes into all the gears as it's supposed to. So you got forward, go back to neutral. That idle's pretty good. Going back into reverse. Just start moving backwards, which we do. Again, go back to neutral, and it sounds pretty good. So what we're gonna do now, guys, is head back to the dock, head back onto the trailer, and headed back to the house and get a good detailing on this motor. That'll be the end of this video. So let's see you guys back at the dock, and let's get it back onto the trailer. Okay guys, so we just finished detailing this motor. It looks really good. I did throw on the other cowling, so the cowling looks a lot better compared to the old one. That is going to wrap up this video though, guys. So if you did enjoy the video, please smash the like button down below, as it does help me out a lot. It encourages me to keep making these videos for you guys. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss any more further content in the future. But that is going to wrap up this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.